The story begins inside a prison located in Santiago, a prison known as the most secure prison in the entire city. Thousands of dangerous criminals are locked inside this facility. Until date, not a single prisoner has ever managed to escape from it. The biggest reason behind this is the prison's brutal warden. He is an extremely strict and merciless man who violently beats prisoners even for the smallest mistakes. Because of his fear, the prisoners don't even dare to think about it. An intelligent man named Leon has just entered the prison. Leon is an architect, and he possesses an incredible ability. Just by looking at any building, he can instantly tell how old it is and how it was designed. The moment Leon steps inside the prison, his mind immediately begins planning an escape. Soon we learn that Leon is not alone. 4 of his companions are also inside the prison, and all of them want to escape together. After some time, a prison officer lines up all the prisoners and starts explaining the prison rules. He warns everyone that if anybody even tries to break the rules, they will be killed instantly. Once the announcement is over, all the prisoners are marched toward their assigned prison blocks. At that moment, Leon suddenly rushes towards cell number 50 because he has already figured out that cell 50 is the perfect location for escaping from the prison. But when he opens the door, he realizes another prisoner has already occupied that cell. Seeing this completely disappoints Leon, and unwillingly, he is forced to move into the neighboring cell number 51 instead. Meanwhile, Leon notices that his other 4 companions have successfully taken control of the exact cells they were supposed to occupy according to their escape plan. Later, Leon's companions secretly gather inside his cell. Raphael immediately tells Leon that he was supposed to get cell 50, but instead he ended up in cell 51. Leon explains that things were easier for them because their cells were on the ground floor, allowing them to capture them easily. But since his cell was on the first floor, he couldn't reach cell 50 in time. Hearing this, their companion German asks what they are going to do now. Raphael confidently replies that starting tomorrow, they will begin working on their escape plan no matter what. A little later, another prisoner arrives carrying a guitar, and we soon discover that this guitarist is also part of Leon's group. Inside this prison, inmates are allowed to do jobs or activities they are skilled at so they can pass their time, things like playing guitar, cooking food, or making furniture. The next day, Leon fully begins working on the escape plan. He carefully observes every corner of the prison, but when he sees guards positioned everywhere, constantly monitoring the inmates, he quickly realizes that escaping by climbing over the prison walls would be nearly impossible. So Leon immediately shifts to plan B. He starts walking across the prison while secretly counting his steps in order to measure the prison's dimensions. After calculating everything, he returns to his companions and tells them that they absolutely must escape from this place. German immediately says that Leon has gone crazy because escaping from this prison is impossible. There are giant walls surrounding the prison, and guards are watching. The side road is only 90 meters away. That means they do not need to escape by climbing the walls at all. Instead, they are going to dig a tunnel underground that will lead directly outside the prison. Beyond the prison walls lies a dense forest, and once they manage to reach it, the guards will never be able to find them. However, there is one major problem. If they dig such a massive tunnel, where will they hide all the dirt coming out of it? This question deeply troubles all 3 of them, and Leon starts thinking carefully about how they can secretly dispose of the soil without getting caught. But while the 3 of them are discussing the tunnel and the dirt problem, another prisoner notices them watching suspiciously from a distance. His name is Bigot. Bigot is a traitorous inmate who secretly works with the prison warden. Whenever he notices prisoners trying to escape or break prison rules, he immediately reports everything to the guards in secret. For quite some time, Bigot has already been observing Leon and his companions. Seeing the 3 of them constantly talking together makes him suspicious. So he directly approaches Raphael and tells him that he has been watching them for several days and already knows they are planning to escape from the prison. He then says that he also wants to join their escape plan. The moment Raphael sees Bigot's face, he senses something suspicious about him. So Raphael immediately denies everything and says that there is no escape plan at all, and they were simply talking normally. The next day, Leon, German, and Raphael enter one of the lower floor cells. Raphael points toward one side of the wall and says that they will dig that they do with all the dirt coming out of the tunnel. To solve this issue, Leon calls his guitarist friend into the cell. The guitarist secretly pulls out a large screwdriver hidden inside his guitar and hands it over to Leon. After getting the tool, Leon immediately begins carving a square-shaped opening into the ceiling. Naturally, the work creates a lot of noise, so to cover it up, the guitarist starts loudly playing songs on his guitar. Because of the music, nobody outside can hear the sounds coming from inside the cell. After working for some time, Leon finally succeeds in creating a hole in the ceiling. When he sticks his head out through the opening and looks above, he discovers a massive empty space on top of the ceiling. Seeing this makes Leon extremely happy because he realizes that more than 80 tons of dirt could easily be hidden there. But evening was approaching quickly, and soon the guards would begin inspecting the prison cells. Raphael becomes nervous and tells Leon they need to close the hole immediately. Surprisingly, Leon asks him to bring eggs. Hearing this, Raphael gets angry and thinks Leon is joking around at such a dangerous moment. But Leon confidently tells him to trust him and bring the eggs quickly so he can show his trick. Raphael rushes off and returns with the eggs while Leon Leon and German crush the broken ceiling debris into fine powder. Leon pours the powdered rubble into a bucket, mixes lime into it, and then adds the eggs as well. Meanwhile, outside they understand the signal and start working even faster. They knead the debris mixture like dough and mold it into a fake concrete block. Afterward, they carefully fit the block back into the ceiling hole and cover the area below it with a poster. A few moments later, the guards enter their cell and pull Leon and his companions outside while they begin a detailed inspection. The guards search the entire cell carefully but fail to find anything suspicious. However, one guard notices the poster attached to the ceiling and starts moving toward it. Just as he is about to pull it down, another officer calls him from outside. Hearing the call, the guard leaves without removing the poster, and in this way, all of them narrowly escape getting caught. By now, 34 days had already passed inside the prison, and the group knew they needed to escape as soon as possible. Leon and German climb above the ceiling and build a hollow wooden box. Then they fill the box with white cement and place it on the ceiling. After several days of work, their fake block is finally completed. Now it was time to begin digging the actual tunnel. The group starts cutting through the lower section of the wall according to the exact shape of the fake cement block they created earlier. But while digging, the noise becomes extremely loud, and some guards nearby begin hearing strange sounds. The guards immediately start moving toward their cell. Luckily, this pace. Leon tells his companions that they need more people to complete the tunnel. If the 5 of them continue at the current speed, it could take nearly 5 years to finish the escape route. Therefore, they must find a way to dig much faster. At the same time, German is carrying another bag of dirt upstairs, when suddenly, a guard stops him and asks what is inside the bag. German nervously replies that it only contains some personal items, but the guard remains suspicious and orders him to open it. At that moment, German becomes terrified because he believes all of them are finally about to get caught. However, when he opens the bag, only ordinary items are visible inside. German had cleverly hidden the dirt underneath the items beforehand. Even so, the guard still doesn't trust him and orders German to follow him into the inspection room. Thinking quickly, German secretly exchanges the bag with another identical one prepared earlier by Leon, and none of them wanted to remain trapped there any longer. So Leon and his companions decide that to speed up the tunnel work, they will now involve a few prisoners from the upper floor as well. Eventually, Leon and his team decide to involve a few more prisoners from the upper floor in their escape plan. Leon secretly shows the new prisoners the hidden tunnel by removing the fake wall block. The moment the prisoners see the tunnel, they immediately agree to join the operation because they believe that if just 5 men managed to dig 7 meters already, then together they could finish the tunnel much faster. Some of these new prisoners were already facing death sentence, so they were desperately looking for any chance to escape anyway. Once Leon realizes that everyone is fully committed to the plan, he carefully explains the working system. According to his plan, they will work in 1-hour shifts every single day. 2 men will dig the tunnel, 2 will carry the dirt away, and 2 others will keep watch on the guards. The remaining prisoners will continue doing their normal prison activities, so nobody becomes suspicious. Leon also gives another important instruction. Any prisoner who spends 2 hours inside the tunnel must immediately take a bath and wash his clothes afterward, so the guards do not notice dirt stains on them. Now the work begins moving much faster. The prisoners start removing nearly 100 kilograms of dirt every single day. We also learn why Leon specifically chose prisoners from the upper floor. If they had continued carrying bags and buckets upstairs through the stairs, the guards could easily have noticed them. To avoid this risk, the prisoners create another hole in the ceiling of the lower cell where they work. Whenever prisoners are digging inside the tunnel, they turn the radio volume up loudly while the other inmates outside continue acting normally in front of the guards. And whenever somebody notices danger approaching, the prisoners secretly knock on the cell door as a warning signal. Hearing the signal, the men working inside the tunnel immediately stop, hide all the equipment, and return to their regular positions before the guards arrive. In this way, every prisoner involved in the escape operation follows a strict routine. Every evening, they gather together and discuss the next steps of the plan, so everything continues running perfectly without attracting suspicion. One evening, while the prisoners are playing football, Oscar approaches Raphael and quietly tells him that he already knows they are digging a tunnel. Instead of exposing them, Oscar says he also wants to join their team and help them escape. Raphael then takes Oscar to Leon, and Leon decides to include him in the operation as well. Later, Leon tells Raphael and German that based on the current speed of their progress, he is confident the tunnel will soon be completed and they will finally escape from prison. However, Leon also points out another major problem. They are not just 4 or 5 people anymore. Nearly 40 prisoners are now involved. If such a large group suddenly runs outside together, the police will immediately notice them and chase them down with vehicles. Because of this, Leon explains that they need help from someone outside the prison. They need a person who can arrange a bus and be ready the moment they escape. Everyone starts wondering who outside could possibly help them. That's when Leon suggests Raphael's wife, Paulina. He says they can trust her completely, and Raphael must ask her for help. Eventually, 182 days pass inside the prison. On that day, family members are allowed to visit the prisoners. Raphael's wife Paulina also comes to meet him. During the meeting, Raphael secretly explains their entire escape plan to her and tells her they desperately need outside help. He asks her to arrange a bus with the help of some trusted people so they can escape safely after leaving the tunnel. Paulina agrees and leaves the prison. Meanwhile, inside the prison, 205 days have now passed, and the prisoners have managed to dig the tunnel much farther than before. But one day, disaster almost strikes. The guitarist prisoner is inside the tunnel working when guards suddenly arrive for an unexpected cell inspection. Outside, Raphael and Leon immediately panic because for many days the inspections had always happened at night. But today the guards have arrived in the middle of the afternoon, almost because he is working at the very end of the tunnel. He desperately tries to crawl back out, but deep down, he already knows that the guards may reach the tunnel before he can escape. Everyone becomes terrified, believing that today they will finally be caught. But Raphael quickly takes control of the situation. He gathers all the prisoners together and deliberately blocks the guards' path. Seeing this angers the prison officers, and soon the guards violently attack the prisoners. The prisoners also begin fighting back, trying to delay the guards long enough for the guitarist to escape from the tunnel. At the same time, the guitarist finally manages to crawl out of the tunnel. He quickly seals the tunnel entrance again, using the fake cement block. Then, when he carefully opens the cell door and looks outside, he notices that nobody is there anymore. The reason is that all the prisoners have been dragged outside and punished for attacking the guards. The guards force them to stand half naked under the scorching sun. A little later, the prison warden arrives and orders the guards to keep all the prisoners standing there without clothes until sunset. He also orders that none of them should receive food for an entire day. Meanwhile, outside the prison, at that moment, Leon is outside watching a football match with the other prisoners. The instant he feels the tremors, he sprints toward the tunnel in panic. Meanwhile, the guards begin evacuating prisoners outside the cells because they fear the prison walls may collapse on everyone. Leon somehow manages to rescue the prisoner trapped inside the tunnel. But even after saving him, Leon remains terrified that the earthquake may have collapsed the tunnel from inside. So despite the danger, Leon crawls back into the tunnel to inspect it himself. After checking everything carefully, he discovers that the tunnel is still completely intact. Seeing this finally gives him relief. Now that the tunnel is nearly finished, Leon goes to meet another prisoner who lives in a wheelchair. Leon tells him that they are finally going to escape soon and asks him to join them, but the man quietly refuses. He tells Leon not to worry about him and says that he will never be able to make the escape journey with them. Instead, he urges Leon and the others to leave as quickly as possible and save themselves. Finally, the long-awaited night arrives, the night of the prison escape. As all the prisoners sit distracted, watching a romantic movie on television, the inmates involved in the escape plan slowly begin leaving one by one. Nobody notices them because everyone's attention is fixed on the movie. One after another, the prisoners quietly gather inside Raphael's cell, where the tunnel entrance is hidden. Then, one by one, they begin climbing down into the tunnel. Meanwhile, Bigot is also sitting and watching television when suddenly he notices something strange behind him. Several prisoners are missing. Immediately, he becomes suspicious and starts walking till he finally loses consciousness. After that, Oscar also tries to enter the tunnel and escape with the others. But because his arm is severely wounded, he is unable to crawl through the narrow tunnel properly. Meanwhile, the other prisoners continue slowly moving forward inside the tunnel. After crawling for a long time, they finally reach the end of it. Outside the prison, Leon's old friend opens the upper section of the tunnel from above and begins helping the prisoners out, one by pulling them up with his hands. As soon as the prisoners come out, they quickly change their clothes. At that moment, they notice a bus approaching the nearby bridge. The second they see it, all the prisoners start running toward the bus and quickly climb inside. However, Oscar still hasn't arrived. Because of this, everyone becomes worried and starts waiting for him. German says that he feels something must have gone wrong with Oscar, so he decides to go back and help him. After saying this, German heads back toward the tunnel entrance to search for Oscar. At the same time, inside the prison, the movie shown to the prisoners finally ends, and all the inmates begin returning to their cells. That's when the prisoner in the wheelchair suddenly reveals the truth to everyone. He tells the inmates that there is a tunnel hidden inside Raphael's cell, and that prisoners have escaped through it. The moment the prisoners hear this, chaos erupts inside the jail. Everyone starts running toward Raphael's cell at once. Seeing the sudden panic, the guards immediately become suspicious and call for backup. Within moments, emergency sirens begin echoing throughout the entire prison. Outside, the escaped prisoners sitting inside the bus also hear the loud prison siren. Instantly, they realize they can no longer stay there because the guards will soon begin searching the entire area. Just then, German finally returns, but sadly, he tells everyone that when he reached the tunnel, Oscar was nowhere to be found. Realizing there is no more time left, the bus finally drives away from the area. Back inside the prison, we see Oscar still trapped there. Due to his severe injuries, he failed to escape in time. Soon, news about the massive prison break reaches the warden. Hearing that dozens of prisoners escaped under his watch completely enrages him. Meanwhile, inside the bus, Paulina hands every escaped prisoner a wallet containing some money along with fake identity documents. Afterward, all the prisoners separate from each other and head toward different who had worked day and night for months finally achieve freedom. This became one of the biggest prison escape incidents in history, where nearly 50 prisoners escaped from the prison prison together at the same time. Sadly, only one of their companions, Oscar, failed to escape. And with this emotional ending, the movie based on a true story finally comes to an end.